Okay, it's recording. Hello, people. Welcome back to another video. Richard43, and I'm here to talk to you about, I'm gonna give it a couple seconds to these 20, just to be safe. Better be safe than sorry, Something about YouTube doing stuff for 20, okay, it's 20 seconds. So, this is the time about a story of me knowing the rapist. I'm not gonna be in the bush. His name was Jackson Bizamana. Jackson Bizamana, that was his name. So we go back to about middle school, about my 7th grade year, and I believe my first memory of him was he was just. I just like trying to remember, and I remember in this like costume, and he was pretty notable. He's like 6, like maybe 6'8", whatever number comes before 6'8", all that, and maybe even 6'9". Like he was tall as fuck. And he was this big, intimidating black dude with curly hair. He was like, no, he was a terrifying man. Like, actually, like, scary, intimidating, Like, he's one of those people where if you didn't know him, you'd be, like, a little intimidated. Like, if he was a Pokemon, his ability would be intimidate. Anyway, so, I remember seeing him. He's not hard to miss. And eventually, he gets on my friend group. I don't know how, but he does. And he's this guy. He was pretty funny from what I remember, though we were kind of more twisted people, but we didn't really suspect him to be, a rapist or anything like that for a while until, we found out. But we wouldn't find out till about. Hold on, I'll let my mic close to my mouth. That's better. Okay. So we wouldn't find out till about high school. Because, like, up until. But there were some signs that he wasn't exactly just a normal, like a normal dysfunctional kid. Like, like the average kid with ADHD, autism, just the weird stuff. He seemed to be a bit different than that. Like, one time he brought a machete to school. Around the time bringing weapons to school was like a big issue. It's like a huge issue. Like when the crazy school shootings was a thing. So yeah, and that wasn't really a sign to us, but it probably should have been. Eventually, he would get suspended for like having a vape, which is still an issue in schools, but that's a topic for a whole different video. And as you can see by my footage being paused, I was texting someone because we were trying to talk about because like we knew he moved away. Like I knew this, like I knew my friends know he moved away, and I was wondering if he knew where he had moved to because I wanted to know. So I could really dox where he lived, so I could. So then, if I told people where he lived, people could be like, "Oh, that guy? He's a rapist." Well, and maybe try to report it from there, but that failed. Can't win everything, I guess. But basically, you're probably wondering how we knew he was a rapist. Well, that wouldn't come until high school, till about the first semester of my 11th grade year. Because I had a friend in there, her name, let's call her Orange, for the sake of not telling her real name. And she tells me about her interaction with Jackson, which, yeah, let's be honest, wasn't exactly positive. Now, it starts off like most things do with teenagers, where she invites Jackson over without her parents knowing. Now, I personally have never invited someone else over without my parents knowing and stuff, or my parents being there, in fact, but that's just me anyway. So, she invites Jackson over. Her parents aren't home at the time, and her parents won't know till a while, like a long while later. Whole thing. But basically, he invites her over. No, she invites him over. My bad. And he, after some time, decides to ask, "Hey, you want to have sex?" And she's like, "No." And then he keeps asking until eventually he's like, "I'm sorry," until she's like, "Fine, let's do it." Which is rape, because when you have to beg for consent, that's not, like, no. If you're begging for consent, you're doing something wrong. Like, you're doing something wrong, you stupid fuck. Anyway, just remember no means no, you dumbasses. But yeah, so she she says no, but eventually agrees, and so he tries to get his little dingaling into her void. I don't know what to call it. I don't really know a name for a woman's vagina. He tries to get his little dingaling into her, but her virginity kind of like saves her because he couldn't like fully penetrate. Listen. If you find that sketch, just that's what she told me. So don't blame the messenger. In that case, I'm the messenger, but still. So yeah, he tried to, rape her, all that, and thankfully he failed. Now move forward or backwards. I don't know. Ever since COVID, my memories are just my concept of time and memories are just dog shit, like actual dog shit. But anyway, so it's just me, my friend C, and I, and we're driving home. We're driving to. We're driving home. Like, he's taking my friend C home. And C, in the car, tells me and my other friend about this what Jackson had told him. That Jackson had come up to him or something, I don't know, and said, hey, I had about how he was getting nice and dirty, getting down and dirty. Down and dirty, boy. He was getting down and dirty, boy. And it was all going smoothly until she was like, I'm not feeling this. Can you pull out? I'm done. And eventually, he doesn't. He keeps going until, well, eventually, I guess he finishes. I think that's how this ends. I'm not fully certain on that, on how it ended. But basically, he kept going even though she was saying no, which in a more complex way, if you're down and dirty with someone and she says no, then you're that's rape, Anyway, so she was like, no, I don't know this girl, I don't know who he slept with, it was just a random girl, I guess, I don't know. And eventually apparently this would keep happening or something, because eventually he would confess to C or something, that apparently he knows or told C that this had happened, that he'd raped multiple other women. Like, this wasn't the only one. Like, Orange and this other girl weren't the only one at all. He had very much done this to other women, which is like really sad. Like, not good, not good, very bad, not good. Anyway, and apparently, according to C again through later text messages, that he confessed to he had raped other women besides, Orange and the other girl. That's really all I know for the most part. But what I will say, is that I do have another story of Jackson. Before I'll end it. This is not a good one. So Jackson takes my phone, goes to Google, and goes to the Google search bar and searches the two words child porn, and then it kind of comes that bit where it's like, hey, look what I searched on his phone, like, I child porn on his phone, like that, which isn't even a funny joke, but that's what happened, okay? That's what happened. And, well, that's the end. And here's one of the most ironic parts of the video. Not here. Anyway, so basically, okay, now here comes the most ironic parts of the video, is that I go to see what ghost I have, and while I'm talking about a demon, I discover while I'm playing demonology for background, I see I get a demon. That's ironic. That's kind of funny. Anyway, back to the serious. So Jackson takes my phone, goes to Google, and puts in the Google search bar child porn, which is, like, not even a funny joke, but that's what he did, okay? And that's what happened. Anyway, so, because of that, this other person, Wyatt, will eventually take my phone and show it to the vice principal. And then they do an entire federal investigation about all of this, and it's a whole thing, and it took way too fucking long. Yeah, it's not a great story, but eventually the cops found nothing, which they were going to find nothing. But yeah, that just really had to emphasize that, like chat, like no, I'm not a supporter of, like, pedophiles and stuff, like yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, so that was the whole story for the most part, and it definitely goes to show stuff like that's really kind of why we, abandoned Jackson as one of our friends. There's a whole thing, and that's about it. I mean, I tried. By the way, I'll give a little backstory to this video because I think it's interesting. Is that I recorded this a while ago, but then it wouldn't upload to YouTube, so then I tried to send it to my phone. Because I got an Apple, like an iPad, and an Android phone, which is, uh, not. It took. This is like a 60-minute clip that's probably going to be edited down, and oh man, how, wow, that was hard. That was hard to get it here. And eventually, I see that I could have been doing this a while ago, and I could have been finishing this audio clip and stuff, but it's a whole thing. But yeah, that's pretty much my story of how I knew a rapist. And yeah, if you like this story, I guess like, subscribe. I don't know. Also, I stream on Twitch, so go follow me there. But yeah, that's about it. I don't see anything left to say, but bye. And yes, I did get a demon while talking about a demon. Hallelujah. Bye.